Yes, you do. We kept calling the Benjamin 25 regular Board of Education meeting to order at 7 o'clock on February 9th, 2026. May I have a roll call, please?
Member Ainsley.
Here.
Member Dringle.
Here.
Member Sentence.
Here.
Member Ms. Peterson. Here. Member Mr. Peterson.
Here.
Member Velazquez. Here. Member Rath.
Here. May I have a plan, please stand with pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up is the approval of the agenda. May I have a motion to approve this evening's meeting agenda is presented? So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Member Jordan.
Aye.
Member Ingstrom.
Aye.
Member Sentence.
Aye.
Member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Ms. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Velazquez. Aye. Member Rath.
Aye. Okay, we have two sets of minutes to approve. The first is the draft minutes from the regular Board of Education meeting of January 12th, 2026. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next we have the approval of the draft minutes from the executive session meeting of January 12th, 2026. May I have a motion to approve those closed session minutes? Next session. So moved. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I know we have a couple people that want to make public comments and filled out blue cards here, but first we've got our student theater performance. So we're gonna go down to the Benjamin multipurpose room for a little bit, and we're excited, we're gonna see Matilda. Let's go. So yes, thanks again for putting us on every, this is very cool event, very great, put on great. Next we're on to administrative reports, and I will turn over to Dr.
Okay, I'd like to thank the Board of Education for giving me this opportunity to talk about the learning activities in our district. First three things are just kind of a summary of what I've had in previous reports. We're all set for our Countywide Institute Day on February 27th. Full of people that are approved for in-district activities as well as out-of-district activities. And as a professional development provider, we are approved by the DuPage ROE. Assessments, Mr. Martin will be going over the Illinois Assessment of Readiness Training with Evergreen staff on the 18th February and with Benjamin staff on March 4th. Our IAR testing does begin the week of March 16th and then the following week, and then Illinois Science Assessment will also be taking that after spring break, even though it's under the Pearson umbrella, we'll be taking that at a separate time. 14th, 15th, and 16th of April. High school articulation, we've completed now all of the 8th grade, both special education, regular education, and specials teachers. All have had an opportunity to articulate at the high school. I would say that the response was very positive from our staff. And had a chance to not only observe multiple classes, but meet with teachers there, the head of department, and have some conversations. I'll be meeting, as I do just about every month, with the principal at West Chicago High School. I'll be meeting with her in March, and see if we can shore up some improvements and go on from there. I just want to put a little bit about the Illinois Comprehensive Numeracy Plan, just like the Literacy Plan a couple years ago. Illinois is putting together a numeracy plan to help math instruction in the state, and it'll be a helpful guide for us. Similar to the literacy plan, a lot of the things that are in the plan are things that we are already doing, and they're just on their first draft right now. The second draft is set to come out on February 19th. But with us finishing our strategic plan and looking at math as a whole, curriculum resource, and just what we're doing as far as strategies and things, it'll be at a good time for us to use that as a guide as well. 5 Essential Survey has been pushed out to all parents. We have scheduled reminders to go out to parents too. We always do make the 20% guideline. We're kind of always right around that 20%, so we're hoping to get increased participation. As you know from the strategic planning, we are using that as a resource to help improve our school as a whole. So we've also have every grade level team has organized when the best time for their students, so they're kind of in charge of when the students will take the assessment, and then we'll be looking at taking that survey with the staff as well, along with the other surveys that we have going out. So besides that, learning walks continue, second round of learning walks with Mrs. Smith, Dr. McGill, and myself. Since the last time we met with 4th grade. We actually came before school to meet with band. 7th grade, 8th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade. Wednesday we got 5th grade. So we're getting in classrooms, and they're always very excited to see us all. That's it.
All right, thank you very much. And now we're gonna hand it over to business operations.
Mr. Rasmussen, President Rasmussen. Good evening, board members. Happy early Valentine's Day to us all. And tonight's update focuses on our initial planning for the FY27 budget. Achievements by our district safety committee, and additional focuses on the state's failure to fully fund mandated categories. First, for the FY27 budget, this budget is driven by the final CPI that came in at 2.7%. Based on this figure, we're tentatively budgeting for a 2.7 increase in local property tax revenue. We think this is going to go up higher when the property estimates come in, most likely be maybe 3 to 3.4% increase. In contrast, our state support of our budget will remain relatively flat, and that's because our evidence-based funding increases just $600 each year. On the expenditure side, we will see the following increases. Most certified staff will see a 4.22% salary increase. And this is because of the blended CPI model that is in this. That equates to a 2.7 base with a 1.5% performance increase for anyone who receives a proficient or better on their evaluation. As far as our contracted services, our three major vendors. One, our custodial contract is CPI based, so if it's 2.7% CPI, that is our contract increase. A few years ago, we signed a 5% contract with our busing company, so that is 5% next year. And our food services, we are in a year-to-year contract, but right now we would forecast those to increase by what is known as CPI food away from home. So they measure how much it costs to eat outside of the home, and that's what we've done historically over the past few years as far as that increase. Now, to ensure we get the best value in all of these contracts, the surveys went out this week to both students and staff. Students, we've had over 300 students submit feedback, which has been fantastic. So almost all the middle school, and then we support fourth grade, we thought would be the appropriate vehicle. Parents will have the opportunity next week. We didn't want to inundate everybody with surveys, didn't want to compete with the 5 essentials, we didn't want to compete with the strategic plan. So parents will have an opportunity also to give their input on food services, transportation services, cleaning, and the backpack. So we've had some pretty positive that's come back from kids, so looking forward to see what else comes in from parents. The other component of this report today is the safety committee. Our safety committee has been pretty active this month. Ms. Tepe, Mrs. Agris, and I recently attended the 2026 School Safety Summit, which was kind of neat, focused on how to create strategies for communicating to the media in time of crisis. As well as one of the biggest takeaways we had is ensuring how our students who have special needs, how we respond to those in case of an emergency, fire drill, lockdown, any of those. So we've been actually since working with local law enforcement providers to see if there might be ways that we can ease that stress for those children. Legislative update, the Illinois General Assembly has convened in the past few weeks. Been very, very busy with over 8,000 bills have already been introduced. So IASBO, our professional organization, is going to be vigilant advocating for adequate state support of education, including full funding of mandated categories. And as the infographic shows in our report, the district and by extension its residents has had to absorb over $760,000 in transportation costs due to the inability for the state to meet this mandated quotas. So as IASBO and many other organizations will be pushing for this full funding of those. We'll be watching the governor's budget next month to see where it stands. So as I put in my report, we may be asking school board members to file witness slips if those are provided to us. Just telling our legislators to really push for the full funding of all education, not just the general state aid. Tim's report for operations included an update on the number of work orders that have been completed over year to date. For those who might not be aware, our teachers have the ability just to go to a form and fill out. This is the area of need that might be needed, and then a custodian gets a report, goes to it, fills that out. So that's his report on that year to date. And then Greg, on his update, was really the focus was cybersecurity this month. And I believe in his memo, Dr. McGill had discussed our new two-step authentication. I know I like it more, but the SAS Pass, I don't know how everybody else feels, so as long as Mr. Smith feels that way, I think we all do. Better includes all our reports, thank you.
Thank you. All right, back we go for the superintendent.
Yeah, so like every month, we got an update on the strategic plan. So January 22nd, the strategic plan team met for another whole day retreat. This is a really fun retreat. This is the vision retreat. And this is where we each group of the strategic plan, a reminder, this is made up of students, parents, teachers, staff members, administrators. And each group took a look at our mission and vision, revised that to kind of update that. Last time it was looked at was 2014. We also looked at core values. We looked at our motto, which preliminary looks like it's a really great motto. It's not going to change. Everyone loved that. We also looked at profile of a graduate. These are what are the competencies that we want all of our students to have when they graduate from Benjamin. So these are like transferable skills that we want all in it. It's like a common one would be we want our students to be able to communicate well, right? But there's other ones as well, and so they created that. That's an interesting one because that one goes all the way into the classroom, right? We want to make sure that our teachers are aware of that, that we're all being cognizant of how we are developing these transferable skills with our students to prepare them for not only high school but then also life. There's a survey that went out, and we did 3 surveys, one to students, 7th and 8th graders, one for families, and one for faculty and staff to get feedback on those work products. That's going to close this Wednesday, so you haven't completed that, I encourage you to do so. And then that feedback is going to be consolidated and given back to the strategic plan team. And when they meet next on February 19th, the first thing they're going to do is put the finishing touches onto the mission, vision, core values, profile of graduate motto. And we'll put a pin there. And then at the next meeting, the focus of that is called the setting direction retreat. And the focus of that meeting is really to get consensus on what our areas of focus and goals are going to be for the next 5 years. Which is going to be another great meeting because we're like looking into the future. So you get the dream, like what are the areas we want to work on, which is going to be really nice. As a reminder to the community, all of the agendas, the handout, the presentations, the findings, the work that each of the tables did, all of it is transparent. It's on our website on the strategic planning page. So I encourage you to take a look at that. Everything's there. So that can also help inform your feedback. And we just want to keep reminding everyone that this is a really transparent and iterative process that we're doing going back and forth to make sure that everybody has a voice in it, but it's all our voices. Not one is amplified. It's really a collection of everyone, what Benjamin really does reflect. So exciting stuff there, and we're on track to get it approved in April at the April board meeting. So that's gonna be an exciting one. So be there. I also want to congratulate the Benjamin Choir, Miss April Teppy. I saw her and all the choir students on Saturday, January 31st at the Chicago Steel hockey game. Thank you, PTA. And my 5-year-old he didn't catch it, but it didn't hit him. He got a hockey puck, so it was nice. So that was good. It was his prized possession. And he even fit in his pocket somehow. He shoved it in there.
You're supposed to give those back.
No, it was a great time though. So they did a great. They also the Benjamin students made us proud. They performed really well. And then I also want to do a shout out for Marissa Choate, who hosted the first annual Benjamin Art Show on January 16th at Benjamin. The theme was Every Hand Has a Voice, and select pieces were displayed at the Gallery 200 Art Gallery. And there was a reception on Friday that Dr. Fitzgerald went to, so really highly attended, over 100 parents there. And our Bengal Cafe students had their biggest sale yet, selling all the drinks, which was really nice. So a really nice community event showcasing all the great artwork that our students are doing, and it's every year. It's first annual, so now it's a tradition. Staff and board of directors met again last month. Nothing really to note, except I just want to keep it on your radar that they are still looking at facility planning and what adjustments they're going to make there. But as we know, we have John Langdon on the case over there, so I'm confident that what they come up with is going to be good. There's a couple GPS parent series I want to just point out to everyone. We have You Are Not Alone, Navigating Your Child's Mental Health with Wisdom from Experts in Real Families. This is on February 10th at noon at 7 p.m. Again, these are on Zoom. It's like really easy to attend, and some of them are even recorded. Some of the presenters allow the recording, others don't, so some of it be in person or live, but. And then we have another one, Bright Kids Who Can't Keep Up, Strategies to Improve Academic Performance and Processing. This is on Thursday, February 19th, noon and at 7 p.m. So you got one during the day, you can make it for lunch and in the evening. And that concludes my superintendent report.
Beautiful. All right, thank you. I think we got a couple committee reports, so we're gonna start with Don and give you the report.
Want to recognize our PTA president, David Molly is here tonight. If I say anything wrong, you correct me. But yeah, you mentioned the steel hockey game, that was great, and it was over 100 tickets sold, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, and we had roller skating a week earlier, and that was at least 88, did I hear?
Yes.
Tickets sold on that, so that was very popular as well. We did the ice cream treat days. What I wanted to point out was the newsletter. This is just an awesome newsletter that you all make through the s'mores, and it even tells you how many hits they got. And so when I printed this on Saturday, it was 152 views on this. And so it's gonna highlight what's coming up this month. We're calling it Friendship Month. Those are red, violets are blue, the day is fun just for you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a first ever glow night at Evergreen on Friday the 20th. So look forward to that. You and I are putting that together, so we're gonna have little can you explain a little more? As I understand, we're gonna have little stations like with
Yes.
with face painting and what else?
We're hoping to have several stations where there's glow face painting, there's the tattoos, the temporary tattoos. They'll have little games here and there. Everything would be pretty much center around the glow night. Lots of glow sticks, snacks, and just for family and kids to just come out and have fun, relax.
That community back for a little race.
Yes. We'll have a DJ.
No.
Yes. Have one of
So I see 8th grade dance is coming up on February 13th.
Yes.
Is there anything else to add to that? Is that going well?
That one is going great. Katie and Shay are taking good care of that plan, so we're hoping it'll be a great.
There's always, I'm gonna give a plug of spirit wear, just Benjamin or Evergreen spirit wear.
Yes.
Adult sizes are included, so that's really cool. And then as always, there is the calendar for the rest of the year for the events, so please look into that, it's great.
Beautiful, thank you. We have a letter report. That you,
You do.
yes,
I attended the 11th January 23rd meeting with the superintendent. And there were like three things that were more or less covered during that meeting. The first is a 2-year high school world language requirement will begin in 2028 and 29. So the attempt there is to allow somebody that has proficiency in a language not to have to go through 2 years of language, but they can opt out of that and be
Correct.
yeah, be covered for the that requirement. Also, the governor is proposing a cell phone ban in schools, and we're not sure how restrictive that is gonna be, but if it's too restrictive, we'll be told. And then as far as the governor requested that all departments except K through 12 make 4% cuts in anticipation of losing some federal funding, so that was pretty much it.
thanks, Dennis. We have an ISD.
Yeah, all I can say is duplicate the Len meeting because the superintendent and I attended the Len dinner on February 23rd, I'm sorry, February 3rd. And Tony Sanders, the state superintendent of Illinois, spoke. And he talked about pretty much the same kind of things, about the language requirements, about the monies, will be flat for education. And, they're still working on some kind of a new state accountability system, which. I kind of got lost in his presentation a little bit because he opened a meeting for questions and then kind of lost control of it. And then it was time to leave. So I was. We don't have the president, right? So I've never been impressed with who our state superintendent is right now. But we'll see.
Appreciate the updates, Dennis. And last, we have finance committee.
We did, the finance committee, we met last week. We discussed much of what Dr. Felix previously shared about the MCAT prorations of the proration. You know, and how over the last 5 years, it's cost the district $760,000 to transportation that's not been reimbursed. It appears the state been prorating these amounts in order to fund the evidence-based model. Doesn't help us much though. Dr. Felix also shared an update on the district's capital plan, with the final invoice from the Evergreen Edition being received, and we're excited to say that it came in at 1.2 million on the budget. So Dr. Felix will be splitting that money once. All right.
Still gonna need to dust.
Yeah. I think Dr. Felix will provide a more detailed report next month. In addition, we also discussed the CPI factors and how that drives both the revenue and all of our costs as well, and how understanding the blended formula, how it affects the certified staff. We reviewed the costs associated with the asbestos abatement, and that's on our agenda this evening. We also reviewed the gymnasium audio speaker replacement, that's also on our agenda. And then we finished the meeting with discussing employment compensation recommendations for the rest of the staff.
All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you guys for the updates. So next we have public comment on agenda items. We've received 2 cards out of respect of their time. I'm at request, we're gonna flip item 8 and 12. So we'll do public comment on non-agenda items first. And we can let them go. So the first card I had was from this one. Pretty close, I'll bring this in. So, sorry, I'll read first because we have some of the verbiage here. So in accordance with board policy, the board provides the opportunity for public comment on agenda items. The board will receive input, but will not enter into dialogue. If necessary, the superintendent will follow up with the presenters. And last, any individual will be limited to 3 minutes. And the total time on any one topic will be limited to 30 minutes. So no person can initiate charges or complaints against individual employees, challenges, instructional materials, and public comments. And then all such concerns shall be presented to the superintendent. So thank you again for coming.
I'm here to talk about 3 things tonight, the first of which is the board policy that allows you to post any email that's sent to a member of the board. I myself have been hesitant to reach out for that reason. I think my email to you about a year ago was the first one, and I didn't know that that was a thing until I was sitting in the meeting and it was like, this is a new thing, we're gonna read the emails. And oh my gosh, okay, so that caught me off guard. But my rationale for that is there's an email that was put out today that was made public to everybody, and it has what I would consider private confidential information that I wouldn't want the public to see. So I just reach out to you just asking that you maybe consider redacting some of that if it comes to a student's privacy. That was my first thing. I understand you don't want anonymous senders, but I think that kind of crosses the line when we're talking about individual kids. The other reason that I wanted to speak tonight was just to address class sizes for next year. I have a 4th grader and a 7th grader, and there's discrepancies between the elementary class sizes and the middle school. That was just something that I wanted you guys to look at to ensure equity for both the students, but also for the teachers who are responsible for those classes. Case in point, it's coming from my own perspective. I have a 4th grader in a math class of roughly 27 students compared to my 7th grader who's in a math class of 6 students. So that to me is unfair to both the kids and to the teachers in those classes. If there's anything that you can do to make that more equitable, the kids would certainly benefit from it. Speaking as a parent of that 4th grade class, it is a large class with 1 more section historically than the 3 section groups coming into Benjamin. So I'm cautious and nervous about condensing those 4 sections into 3, just to continue on with how the schedule works here at Benjamin, and just being mindful of class size. And then finally, just in interest of transparency, I just request that with the requirements for the advanced classes that start in 3rd grade, just be more public to the parents. And that we are making decisions based on who is in those classes, based on those requirements, and not based on staffing. Because I feel like that's not always the case. So, that's it.
Great, thank you so much, I appreciate
Thank you.
your comment. Next we have one more from, Mr. Cole.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent McGill, and district leadership. My name is Omar Cora, and I am here because my 6-year-old daughter was placed in danger while under the supervision of Evergreen Elementary School. Earlier today, I sent my daughter to school like any other normal day, trusting that she would be safe. Later in the morning, I received a call from the nurse to inform me that my daughter felt ill and I needed to come pick her up. I left my house, mind you, I live about 4 minutes away. While driving to the school, I experienced every parent's worst nightmare. I found my 6-year-old daughter standing alone in the sidewalk, outside, unsupervised, in 32-degree weather, 4 to 5 houses down from the school. She had been sent out of the school alone and believed that she was supposed to walk home alone. Let me be very clear. A 6-year-old child should never be responsible for making decisions about her own safety. That responsibility belongs to the adults in the building. I was lucky that today was my PTO day, and therefore I was able to go pick up my daughter because I live about 4 minutes away. Any other day, I work downtown in the city. That commute is about an hour or more. And I don't want to think how long my daughter could have been out there alone, exposed to the cold and the dangers. To make matters worse, in order to get home, she needs to cross Morton Road. We all know there's a lot of community members that do not follow that stop sign right in the corner of Morton Grove and Birch Park. There's so many other things that could have gone wrong with today. She could have been struck by a vehicle. She could have been abducted. And these are not exaggerated concerns. These are real, obvious risks. What happened next was also just as concerning. After the incident, I did not receive an appropriate response from the school staff. Instead of immediate accountability, my daughter was spoken in a way that it made her feel like she was the one at fault. I want to state for the record, my 6-year-old daughter is not at fault. It's the adults. Because I did not feel that the seriousness of the situation was being understood. I took it upon myself to reach out to Superintendent Dr. McGill. He listened, he understood the gravity of the situation that occurred. He was shocked as I was, and for that I want to say thank you. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same about the staff at Evergreen Elementary. The incident occurred today around 9:47 in the morning. I did not receive a call for a one-on-one until about 12:19 p.m. I did finally meet the staff at 2 p.m. today. And even then, it felt that the problem was diminished and not taken with the urgency that it deserved. If a child is placed in danger, there should be an immediate response, not hours later. During the meeting, my wife and I asked what we believe were standard questions about safety and protocol. Why are there no sensors at every door that alerts the front desk when a door is open? Why are there blind spots in the camera system around the building? We were informed that kindergartens have a buddy system in place, yet that wasn't being followed. I don't think these are extreme questions to ask. These are foundational for safety of our children. In my place of work, we have all these policies and procedures set in place for medication and equipment. These are children we're talking about, not equipment. it made me ask myself the question, and I propose the same to you. Why is it that in 2026, when we're all aware of the painful, horrific situations that happen across schools in this country, are protocols not implemented or not being followed? I want to be very clear why I'm here. I'm not here focused on who gets written up. I'm not interested in the surface level discipline.
Mr. Carl, I'm sorry, it's been 4 minutes.
I honestly don't care.
That's but
My daughter was placed in danger. And you cutting me off right now, read the room, extremely inappropriate. As I was saying, I don't care about surface level situation. What I want to know is what safety protocols will be implemented across Benjamin District 25 to ensure that this never happens again. No child should ever go through what my daughter went through today. No parent should ever find their daughter or son or child wandering around the streets unsupervised. No one should ever go through what my family went through today. And I'm asking the board for transparency. I'm asking the board for accountability. And I'm asking the board for concrete actions. Our children deserve nothing less. Thank you.
thank you. Okay. Yeah, is there any more public comment for the next? Having none, we will move on to consent agenda. Does any member wish to remove any items from the consent agenda for separate consideration? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? So moved. Second. Any discussion? Roll call please.
Member Ingstrom,
Aye.
member Jordan.
Aye.
Member Steinberg.
Aye.
Member Ms. Peterson,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson,
Aye.
member Belancer.
Aye.
Member
Aye. Okay, so we now moving on to action items. The first item is the approval of the 2026-2027 school calendar. May I have a motion to approve the 26-27 school calendars presented?
Mr. President, just a comment, if I could.
Yeah, well,
Okay. Just three things we note on the calendar.
so what, yeah, what I'm gonna do, I just thought I should note it. I'm gonna just call motion to approve. Once we have that, I'm gonna turn it over to the administration for discussion and then we'll take it all. So yes, that. So may I have a motion,
So moved.
second. And then turn over to you.
So a few notable adjustments to the calendar, this year. There, is a flex day added. The Emergency Day Committee, met earlier this year and, decided that in-person learning is best for students. They also decided that, they looked at some districts around the area and saw that it can be prudent to kind of leverage a day in the middle of April as opposed to tacking an extra day on at the end. And so, there is a day on April 26th, that as long as there is no emergency day called, that will be a day of non-student and teacher attendance. But if there is, then that becomes an attendance day, so it's kind of embedded in the middle of the year and it's not tacked on the end. So that's one notable change. The other one is a change to our parent-teacher conferences. So instead of having 3 evening days only, we're gonna have one evening day and then another day that's kind of like smack dab in the middle of the day. That way we can have parents who, maybe they work second shift, they can also attend in person and organize that way. So, this is something that, we can change from year to year. So we can try this out, and if this, allows for more parent participation, great. If we find that it doesn't, we can adjust that in the future as well. But one other thing I'd like to note is, it's been really great working with our union leadership on the calendar. They've been very creative, and I also like to thank some of the board members for taking that critical eye and noticing some of the, as we're moving pieces around, some of the numbers get jumbled. So we think we're in a good place, and I'm hoping to have any discussion or questions.
Those were the two items. The third item was, we're starting school on Tuesday, superintendent side, Tuesday, not Wednesday, in August. That's a notable change.
Notable thing, that's
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? May I have a roll call please?
Member Angel,
Aye.
member Jordan,
Aye.
member St. John.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson.
Aye.
Member Mr. Peterson,
Alright,
member Melanson.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. Next, we have the approval of fund transfer. May I have a motion to approve the fund transfer as presented?
So moved.
Second. And this item just looks like it's a procedural movement from the O and M to the capital projects for the locker renovation project. So I may have sorry, roll call please.
Member Jordan.
Aye.
Member St. John.
Aye.
Member Angel,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson,
alright,
member Miss Peterson.
Aye.
Member Melanson.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. Next, is the approval of the asbestos bid. May I have a motion to approve the asbestos bid as presented?
So moved.
Second.
What do you think about after this one?
For feels, you know, that anything?
No, I mean, was. To complete those 3 classrooms, we needed to abate, because it was found some materials in the adhesive. But I was happy with the bid that came in, obviously much less than the 3 Midwest Environmental. Was happy with this company, so it's not like a fly by night. But also being able to demo the 2nd floor casework as part of this quote, really kind of got us a little bit more work than a really cost effective time. So,
Well, thank you. Can I have a roll call please?
Member St. John.
Aye.
Member Angel,
Aye.
member Miss Peterson,
Aye.
member Jordan.
Aye.
Member Mr. Peterson,
alright,
member Melanson.
Aye.
Member Rogers.
Aye. Alright, last action item we have is the approval of the sound system update. We have a motion to approve the sound system update as presented. Third. We have any discussion on that one? Let's go. Yes.
totally agree.
May I have a roll call please?
Member Angel,
Aye.
member Jordan,
Aye.
member St. John.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson,
Aye.
member Mr. Peterson,
alright,
member Melanson.
Aye.
Member
Aye. I guess I'll ask, who did put together the presentation? Cause I love whoever put this thing together and like, you can tell they're like really interested in this set.
I believe this has evolved over time. First time back in 2000.
are we talking about the sound system?
It's nice, yeah.
For 3 years.
Mr. Lewis, Mr. Christopher were essential to that presentation.
It's really, it's very rewarding
Yeah,
to be able to, have your children take part in a very worthwhile project. And then have certain elements that sometimes when they can't be heard at the right time because of, not because of any fault of any individual, but it's just the way the system was, and so,
that's cool
yeah, so I think having this is gonna be
though. Nice.
huge. And it'll work for other
Oh, yeah,
presentations too, like,
assemblies.
Yeah.
Throughout the year,
that'd be great.
concerts.
Next, having switched those 2 items, we have public comment on agenda items. Does anyone have a public comment on agenda items? Having none, we will move on to discussion items. And so there's been some communication between the board and the public. So,
One is a family inquiring on the services that we provide for students that's planning to move into the area. And another is an announcement of retirement from one of our preschool teachers, Wheelie. Been here 18 years. She's loved Benjamin, and she loves the school, loves the students, and it's time, and she's moving on to retirement and gonna enjoy some time in Michigan. So being close to grandkids, so happy for her. So congratulations to her.
well deserved. Next, the board is going to enter an executive session. We do not anticipate taking action once we reconvene the open session. So may I have a motion to enter an executive session at 8:05 for the purpose of
For the president, I should state the reason going into session, is there?
Yeah, okay. Thank you. For the purpose of appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals that serve as independent contractors in the Illinois educational setting, for exemption number one under IL Open Meetings Act. 5 ILCS 120-2.
So moved.
Sorry.
Roll call please.
Member Burnett.
Aye.
Member Ingstrom.
Aye.
Member Sunday.
Aye.
Member Miss Peterson. Aye. Member Mr. Peterson.
Aye.
Member Valente. Aye. And Member Rogers.
Okay.
right?
Yes.
May I have a motion to adjourn the Benjamin 25 Board of Education meeting at 9:20. So moved. And all in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye. Both same sign. All right,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you.
Thank you.
We do it, return to open.